Just got these new taillights. They're LED taillights from my 2009 ML63 AMG, although I do know these fit anywhere from 2006 to I believe last year of the 164 generation, which was 2011. So in the box we have these resistors first, which I think just makes it easier to install, and like there's no need to code, which is pretty nice, especially for the pre-facelift models. For me, I actually have a 2009, which is a facelift model. However, it's an early 2009, which means there's no LED taillights in the factory. Kind of wanted those in the first place. However, I came across these on eBay, and these actually seem much more modern looking, almost similar to the facelift first generation GLK style taillight. This company is based out of Southern California, close to where I'm located. Here's the light itself, actually. I really like the look of these, actually. So it looks like you have this sort of nice, modern-looking LED pattern, very similar to the GLK, but almost more modern than that. I really like that a lot, actually. Let's take a look at the standard ones I have on my ML63 right now, which kind of has a white stripe in the middle and it's kind of like smoke to red around. Not bad looking taillights by any means, but we're trying to update the look of the car a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. So let's just see how these look. I'm going to install one right now, and then I'll see how that looks, and we can compare the two, and then I will show you to install the next one. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so before I get into it, here's a look at the car's stock. Just the normal ML taillights for the 164 generation. I think they're a little bit darker than the normal ones. Not sure if that's just a 63 thing or what, but I'm gonna swap them out right now and see what the new ones look like. Alright, so here's the old light and here is the new one. Installation process is actually a little bit more involved than I first thought. On their own video in the guide, they kind of say to remove the four bolts that go over here. That's what they look like. They're 8mm. Remove the four bolts, disconnect the harness, and reconnect the new one. However, I did notice that I think some cars, there must have been a recall at some point, because the brake light, which on the stock unit, let's see, comes from, let's look at the taillight normally. The stock brake light, there is, it clips in right over here, and then it has actually its own harness. Instead of having a separate harness, well, I mean, it does have a separate harness, instead of being connected to this main harness right here. And that actually is the pink wire you can kind of see right there. So this pink wire was actually not in this part of this cable itself, connector itself. It was actually part of its own connector, which has a ground. Apparently, see the ground right in there. Apparently there's an issue with these cars where if the brake light was not grounded, the light would not shine as bright. So a lot of people would have it taken to the dealer and have to have it either recall or they'd pay to have this connector installed as well, so which involved having to remove the pink wire from this main connector and having it added to this separate connector with the ground. Now for the LEDs, you don't need that at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do the other side light. I'm just gonna get this one buttoned up and use the resistors. Gotta mount these to the side over there. These do get pretty hot, so I'll have to see if that works in the long run, but yeah, just gonna clean up right now. Alright, so now that side is completely done, I'll show you guys how to do the second one, which for me is the right side or passenger side. So as you can see, back there is the main light harness, and then here is the brake light harness, which my car is an early 2009, so I'm not sure about what you guys may have, but I have the secondary harness for the brake light. So on the passenger side, you have a purple wire, which is the brake light wire, and then on the driver's side, which I already put away, driver's side you have a pink wire, which is your brake light wire. So what we're gonna have to do is first disconnect both of these from their the actual car's harness, and then we can remove the light, and then I can show you how to remove the purple wire from this brake light connector and then put it back into the main harness connector. The passenger side light, I kind of cleaned out this area. It was pretty dirty, considering it's been here for about 10 years. Even though this car's an 09, I'm pretty sure it was built in 2008 toward the end, so it's got some crud that's been built up over the years. Here is the brake light harness I was talking about earlier. The purple pin in the, looks like the middle, yeah. Then we're going to be removing that from here. We need to insert it into, if I can find where'd the harness go for the light? As you can see, this is the actual light harness, and there's conveniently one spot missing. This is where the brake light will go. Like I said before, I believe there's a recall or there's some issue with the W164 generation where the brake light would not light up as bright as it should. So they fixed that by having a ground there. It's easier to see on this side than it was on the other side. But we have to remove the pin from this connector and then put it in this one. Not that hard to do, just another step which I wasn't aware of before attempting this. So take a closer look at this connector. You can actually see there is a little flap. It's kind of like a locking flap that secures the wires into the connector itself. Same sort of deal on this one. So you'll need to be removing, at least popping up in the tab. It's kind of like a little door. However, on the other side, I noticed that it was kind of frail, because I mean, it's 10-year-old plastic where the door just kind of popped off, but it was able to go back on, so not a big deal. So get a small pick tool, such as this, or even a small flathead, something like this could work. Either way, you need to move that door to gain access to the pins. Alright, please be very careful when you remove this pin from the connector by pushing it out. I used a flathead screwdriver and was not being careful, and I actually stabbed myself through my finger. It's pretty painful. So don't do that. Yeah, that was inside of my... Okay, let's not worry about that. I have the pin out now, which means I can now undo this harness and get that pin in here. So I'm going to do that right now. All you do, same sort of scenario, you need to flip this cover out and it should slide right in. It's kind of hard to tell which way you should put the connector. There's like a little tab on it, but you'll hear it click when you're doing the right way. So if not, it won't go in all the way, and then you need to just do the other way, and then it'll work. So I'll be right back. All right, so just got the purple connection in there. Might take a little work to get all the way through, but now mine is all the way through. I need to stretch out a little bit just so it kind of matches the gap of all these other ones, but should be fine. As for this connector, you can either remove from the car completely or just kind of leave it here. I'm gonna leave mine here just in case I ever need to go back to stock lights. I can always, easily swap that purple one out and put it back in this kind of ground kit for the brake light. All right, so out of the box, this is the new one looks like. You got the main harness right here, and then right here is when you can attach the resistor that's included in a separate package. It's got this plastic film on it, just pretty easy to remove. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of place it up, get the plastic off, get it bolted to the car itself, and then get the connection settled, and then that should be it. All right, got the new light loosely just kind of placed in the car. Here is the light harness. It's the car harness right here. Make sure you're gonna be plugging in with the two little tabs on the top into the section of the light with the two little tabs on the top. It will fit the wrong way around, just so you know that. Yeah, because it won't work either way if you do. It won't work if you do it the wrong way, so keep that in mind. Here's the included resistor. Connect it to this guy right here, and then I'm gonna place it back there on that metal piece right there around the insulation, just to get it out of the way. It has a little sticky pad already there, and that should be it. Then I'm gonna basically, before I put everything away, gonna press the unlock button, put the hazards on, make sure everything is working. Really like the way these look. I think it's a pretty good upgrade from the stock ones. Looks a lot more modern. On this car so far, all I've done is I've also taken apart these headlights and I've blacked out the insides to kind of mimic the 2011, the last year of the 164. They had a darker inside. Before it was all chrome. Got rid of the orange side marker. The car's extremely dirty, it's just a road trip with it, but yeah, let me get that put back together, and I will let you guys know how it's gonna go. Also, pardon the messy trunk, but the passenger side in the US models, I'm not sure if it's the same in the European, US North American models, much messier on this side than on this side. That's just a speaker and a first aid kit. This one is all the entire fuse box, all that stuff, so it is a little bit annoying to work around, but just be careful of the other wires and you should be good to go. One more thing is that the company does give you some extra foam pieces to put in between the light and the car. However, my ones are actually in pretty good shape. Decided not changing them, so it's gonna go back in the box for now. Now that everything's back together, just gonna test it out real quick and make sure everything's still working. It worked before, but let's just see. Press unlock. I'm gonna check by turn the lights on, hazard lights, just making sure everything is working just fine. With the resistors, there are no warning lights. This is all just ignition, so let's put the lights. They're already on, so put the hazards on. As you can see, they're working as they should. I really like the look of these things. Really updates the look of this car. We kind of got a dark theme going on with the plastic badges and the vinyl wrapped chrome pieces. Looking good. So that's about it for this little DIY. If this helped you guys out, I'm really glad it did. If not, leave a comment and maybe I can help you out. Sure, there are not many of you doing this to a 164 ML. This obviously works for any ML. It's 164, not just the facelift, not just pre-facelift, not just 63s. And I'm sure some of you actually have that connector already working with no need to kind of switch out that one pin for the main harness, but that's it.